We've got Ezra speaking here to help us plant, because this is a great activity for the whole family.
Oh, I think so. And I think it's really good to teach kids to be connected with their food and be connected with nature as well, and just to understand how important that relationship is. Being a part of nature, not being this thing that tries to control nature all the time. So,
we also physically needed him because these seeds are so small, all of our hands are too big.
Can you see this plate over here? There's just tiny little seeds on here. These are black cherry seeds, and I was just kind of telling Ezra he could go ahead and plant some. So go ahead. All I need you to do is set them right on top of the soil. You don't even have to push them in, because then that's perfect. So he's just dropping them around, and we're going to do 4 in each pot just because it's fun that way. You can even do 5. And they don't all always sprout. That's perfect. That's 5 right there. You can see. Good job,
Ezra.
And so then you can literally just do a couple things. Some people just push them down with their finger. I find it's easier to just sprinkle a little extra soil on top, because then you don't have to worry about them. And by leaving them on top, you can kind of see where they are, put them where you want them to be. So then you just tap them down like that and keep them damp. A lot of times we'll cover them with a lid or saran wrap or something, just to get them clean.
And Jason, you and I were talking before the show, and you made an important comment. A lot of us water our plants too much, don't we?
Yeah. So one of the things about water is understanding when a plant needs water. This plant, for example, is really standing up straight, vibrant, and you can just touch the soil and it's still very damp. And so this one, actually, I was hardening my plants, which is a whole different discussion. I could go on and on about that. But we grew these under lights inside before it was warm enough to grow them outside. So then we take them outside and let them get hardened. But the watering thing, when they start to droop, is actually a really good time if you keep an eye on them. But if there's a chance that you might miss it, just wait until they're really lightweight. You feel how heavy that one is?
Yeah.
You want to just feel that? It feels like there's water in it, right?
Yeah.
And then there's other ones that are more dry, that are considerably lighter. But these are all nice and wet with rainwater now.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't overwater. If they're looking good, probably not time to water them, and look at how damp the soil is. A couple other things. You can keep planting if you want. Did you do them all already?
He was pretty quick.
That's amazing. Good job.
Well, he loves maters.
So yeah, and we're going to we've got 60 kinds of them at the farm, right? So you guys got to try some of those. So another thing, if you're growing indoors, you're going to need some grow lights. These are full spectrum LEDs, and they have gotten cheaper and cheaper. I think I spent considerably more on these, but you can get them for like $10 these days. And if you grow just some herbs, I mean, you could just, sell a little bit to your friends occasionally, and it'll pay for the light. You know what I mean? If you're on a budget.
You got a nice little clamp here.
Yeah.
You can put it right on the edge of the...
And they sell, a long bar for and you could just put it on a shelf or somewhere like that. But yes, if you're growing indoors, you will need some sort of light. If you don't have a full sun window or, a porch, or a neighbor that will even let you, grow some produce in their yard. So the other thing about growing indoors, you want to make sure you've got air. So this is something that people don't really think about. And especially with tomatoes, if you don't have adequate light, they'll get too tall and they'll kind of want to fall over. So that's why you need a grow light if you don't have adequate sun. But also the fan makes them stronger. It makes them more robust, and it kind of mimics the wind. Plants actually prefer to be outdoors, so you got to do a little work if you're going to grow them inside. So the fan really helps a couple things. It helps the plants dry out a little bit. It helps the soil dry out, and just makes them stronger by causing them to vibrate like this, kind of sway in the wind, makes them stronger.
Jason, I know you wanted to talk about gleaners.
For sure, yeah. Well, just wanted to tell people about this event that we're doing at Gleaners on Wednesday morning at 9:15 to 10 a.m. People can make it. It's open to the public. We're giving away free seed starting kits, free seeds, free soil, a lot of the stuff that you see here. And, we're going to talk a little more about the maintenance. I mean, starting is easy, but then there's a lot to learn about caring for your plants. So we'll also be streaming it from my Instagram and co-streaming that with Gleaners. So if you get on my Instagram, you can learn a lot more about this event. But yeah, really fun thing to do with the community, and really build community by teaching people about the importance of being one with nature and food.